Islam, alhamdulillah, thumma alhamdulillah. Tonight we will be completing the 28th juz of the Quran. We are down to the final 3 ajza. And I want to try to, inshallah, keep some level of consistency in the message that we've been discussing over the last couple of days. If you recall, 2 days ago, we spoke about the exit strategy. What mindset do we need to adopt? What are the things that we need to focus on? And how we can continue stronger outside of Ramadan than what we were able to accumulate and preserve during this blessed month. Last night we spoke about the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to get back home. For those of us who are from other countries, you still have memories of your home country. And there are times when you're feeling down, you wish you were back home. You wish you were back with the people you know and the families and enjoying Ramadan, celebrating Eid, for example. Well, home for us is paradise. Our father and mother, Allah be pleased with them both, Adam and Eve, were from paradise. And so we have to understand that the journey is paradise, the destination is paradise. And we're not gonna stop until we get there, insha'Allah. However, my fellow Muslims, sometimes the problem isn't the things we do or the things around us, but sometimes the problem begins with us. And today in the 28th juz from Surah Al-Mujadala, Surah Al-Hashr, Surah Al-Mumtahina, Surah Al-Saf, Surah Al-Jumaah, and Surah Al-Munafiqun, in Taghabun, in Talaq, in Tahrim, there are a few points that I want us to focus on for ourselves. Surah Mujadala talks about a dispute between a wife and a husband. Khuwaila bint Tha'laba had married Aus ibn Samit. Her husband was much elder than her. And what he did was, he said something which was known to be a talaq, or a means of separation. He did dhihar. Dhihar means anti alayka dhahri ummi, that you're like my mother. And when you equate your halal relationship with someone that it's haram to have a relationship with, it can constitute a separation. So now the husband and wife are arguing and disputing this claim. In an argument, we always want to prove that we're right. Maybe in a marriage, maybe between parents and children, children and parents, or just two individuals. You want to do your best to push your point across and ensure that they realize what you realize. But seldom do we take the moment to say, do I realize what they realize? Because at the end, you both are butting heads constantly, and these things never end. Disputes, disagreements are a part and parcel of our existence. Remember this, it's gonna happen. You're gonna have disputes and disagreements with your children, your spouse, your loved ones, your parents. It's part of life. But what's not part of life is the mindset with which we enter disputes and disagreements, in which we normalize disputes and disagreements. Well, Khuwaila bint Tha'laba said, I'm not doing anything now until Allah sends down clarity on this matter. Because when you understand that you've reached a point of stubbornness where you know you're right, and your opposite party has reached a similar point where they believe they're right, why not stop and say, let's see where Allah is right in this matter. Let's take from Allah and ask Allah to tell us what's right. Because if not, we all know from our own personal experiences, no one's going to give up. That's why they say, just say sorry and move on. But that really wasn't a thing. It actually was the person who realized that they overstepped. They'd say, I'm sorry, astaghfirullah, please, I'm sorry. Because they realized they overstepped. Not that they were cornered into a position of guilt that they had no choice but to say, okay, you caught me, I'm sorry. Do you understand the difference? They knew that they were going somewhere where they shouldn't be. So they jumped to apologizing, not that they were forced to apologize. So in this case, my fellow Muslims, she waited for Allah to answer. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could have sent Jibreel alayhi salam and told Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that this is the answer she's looking for. No, Allah made it a revelation that's in the Holy Quran. قَدْ سَمِعَ اللَّهُ قَوْلَ الَّتِي تُجَادِلُكَ فِي زَوْجِهَا وَتَشْتَكِي إِلَى اللَّهِ. Allah has heard the voice of the lady who came to you and she's disputing you, Ya Rasulullah, regarding her husband, and she's crying on to Allah. She's asking Allah, Allah, sort this out. How much of our life goes in disputes, disagreements, fights, and arguments? And in reality, as I said, neither should you be forced to apologize, and neither should anyone be in a position where they just want out of this whole mess and just apologize and move on. Both are wrong sides of the spectrum. We need to be individuals who realize I'm going the wrong way, irrespective if you're right or wrong in the argument. There's an echo. Irrespective if you're right or wrong in the argument, give up. Isa alayhi salam was one day walking in the market. Who did I say? Who was he? Isa alayhi salam, Prophet of Allah, the Word of Allah, the Spirit from Allah. وَرُوحٌ مِّنْ. He's in the market and he sees with his two eyes a man stealing. The man picked something up, put it in his pocket. He said, "You stole." The man responded, "I didn't steal." Now you tell me he's a prophet of Allah. He's brought the dead back to life and he's made birds in the sand and they flew. He's healed the leper and the blind with the permission of Allah. At that moment, if it was me, my ego would come to play and say, "Are you sure? I just went to Walmart the other day, got perfect 20/20 sight. Let me show you what's in your pocket. Because I want to prove the person wrong." But Isa alayhi salam said, "You spoke the truth and my eyes lied." End of story. And he's a prophet of Allah. So the first thing, my fellow Muslims, that we need to understand, introspection now. You know Ramadan felt well. You want Ramadan to continue. We spoke about that 2 nights ago. You've been reminded with myself first and foremost that why we're going to continue, because we want paradise. We were reminded that last night. But tonight we're going to be informed and educated. Myself first and foremost, we need to change. We need to stop the cycle and the culture of arguments. And if the argument is genuine and it's something worrisome, turn it to Allah. Because Allah will provide a solution through the means that He has prescribed to us in the Holy Quran. Number 2, realize that there are the creation of Allah around you who deserve from you more than you deserve from yourself. In Surah Al-Hashr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَيُؤْثِرُونَ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ وَلَوْ كَانَ بِهِمْ خَصَاصَةٌ وَمَنْ يُوقَ شُحَّ نَفْسِهِ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. That the Sahaba are people who gave preference to others even though they were in dire need. It wasn't like, okay, I got $20 here and I was thinking to go do that, but you want it, so I don't know what to do. No, they were in dire need. There was a head of a dead goat that was being passed around because they were so hungry, but every household that got it said to themselves, as much as we can use something from this head, which practically doesn't have much meat, we'll hand it off to the next house because they have a dire need and their need must be more than ours. When we as an ummah stop assuming that our collective Eid and our collective Ramadan and our collective Salah time is our unity, if we stop that fantasy and realize that when we love each other and love for each other, what we want for ourselves, what we desire for ourselves, what we may even need for ourselves, now we have an ummah. Ittihad isn't uniformity of what we do and how we do. Ittihad is when our hearts are aligned and you hear the other person's heartbeat in your heart before you hear your own. When you feel their pain before you feel your own. This is what we call ummah. In in the last verses of Surah Hashr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us your obsession, your focal point, your goal, your aim. وَلْتَنْظُرْ نَفْسٌ مَا قَدَّمَتْ لِغَدٍ. What have I sent forward for tomorrow? Nowadays, even our teenagers are part of crypto. They got their profiles on Robinhood and whatever. They keep on, if you looked at this, like Super Bowl time, they had so many commercials, LeBron James and the whole 9 yards, talking about crypto, crypto.com, Matt Damon, they're all just talking about crypto. So our kids are also, as adults, crazy about crypto. They're investing $10 here, $20 there, $100 there. They're seeing the crypto multiply. They're making money, mashallah. And as they keep on looking at that profile of what's happening, because crypto is a market that doesn't sleep, it's constantly evolving. Look at your deeds. What have I sent forward for tomorrow? What have I sent forward tomorrow? When you see that dip happen to your Bitcoin profile, when it goes down $13,000 and your stomach aches and your heart falls into your gut, when you realize I've done nothing today for Allah, it should hurt you the same. وَلْتَنْظُرْ نَفْسٌ مَا قَدَّمَتْ لِغَدٍ. What have you sent forward tomorrow? Because that's what's going to matter tomorrow. This world has never been anyone's true friend, and it will not be your friend. Remember this. You can hide it, you can conceal it, you can keep a low pro, or you can be all out like Jeff Bezos and whoever else. I'm a rich billionaire. No one cares, because you know what? The world will use you and abuse you and throw you. That's what the world does, and that's what Allah told us it will do. Look at what you're sending forward towards, my fellow Muslims, what we're sending forward tomorrow. In Surah Al-Mumtahina, رَبَّنَا لَا تَجْعَلْنَا فِتْنَةً لِلَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا وَاغْفِرْ لَنَا رَبَّنَا. Oh Allah, do not make us a trial and a test for those who are disbelievers. Oh Allah, do not put us in a position where we are humiliated, we are put down, we are trampled upon by the disbelievers, not because of who we are or what we are, it's because we have Islam. Not because we have the name Muslim, or because we come from a Muslim family, or because we come from a Muslim country, because, oh Allah, we are bearers of your deen. Oh Allah, don't put the deen in a position where the deen is humiliated, where the deen is trampled, where the deen is taken out for a ride and hung up and people make fun of it and mock it. Oh Allah, don't let that happen. We're asking for ourselves, but what we're asking Allah to preserve and protect is His religion. May Allah protect His deen. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. And finally, my brothers and sisters, and I'll finish with Surah Al-Jumaah. Surah Al-Jumaah is a beautiful surah that teaches us etiquettes of the masjid. MashaAllah, Shaykh Arsalan the other day spoke about some etiquettes, about how we shouldn't precede the Imam in the movement of the prayer. And as I said before Ramadan to the congregation, that we don't stand and wait for the prayer to begin until the Imam is on the musalla. These are the teachings of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's very disrespectful, not to the Imam, but to Allah. And here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching these etiquettes to us in the surah. إِذَا نُودِيَ لِلصَّلَاةِ مِنْ يَوْمِ الْجُمُعَةِ. When the adhan is called on the day of Friday, hasten towards the remembrance of Allah. Go to the masjids. So long we see ourselves frequenting the house of Allah, the promise of faith and the strength of faith will be before us. And we can die peacefully knowing that Islam is stronger than when we were living with it. But when the masajid become empty and faith becomes something of the past, and the places of Allah's house which are meant for worship become places for other things, then fear, my brothers and sisters, not for your children, fear for yourself first. Because Islam may not even survive in us. May Allah preserve His deen. May Allah change us. May Allah change our habits. May Allah change our ways. May Allah change our mindset. May Allah remove us from a state of stubbornness and open ourselves to a state of willingness to hear Allah and His Rasul. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us in all affairs to resort to Allah and His Messenger, seek guidance and seek solution from that, and continue to love each other more than we love ourselves. Ameen Rabbil Alameen. Salatul Isha.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا